Good news, the number of first-time claims for unemployment benefits, an indicator of layoffs, dropped by 71,000. That is below where it was before the coronavirus pandemic and the lowest number the nation has seen since 1969. But will this help his political case if rising consumer prices linger?
That's the big question at the moment, Tanya. You know, we've seen the administration and the president specifically in the recent weeks really try and up his, economic pep talk and say, even though you're seeing the prices at the pump, even though you're seeing the prices at the grocery store, our economy is strong, and really trying to build that confidence. So, these jobless numbers are good for him, or are good for him sending that message. However, as we're entering the holiday season with, families buying gifts for, family members, people making their travels, they're still going to be seeing those prices on gas. They're still going to be seeing those prices on buying things. And they're seeing, shelves at stores empty of, toys that are caught up in China because of supply chain issues. So it's going to be hard to combat that in the coming weeks and months still.
So I think the biggest thing to point out before we all get too excited about Biden's job numbers is that we're coming out of lockdowns. We're coming out of severe economic downturn due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And so a lot of those numbers obviously are padded by unusual circumstances. But we're going to talk a little bit more about why those job numbers just really aren't going to hold much weight for Biden moving forward. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jackson White, co-founder and chief of content at Politiscope, and thank you for tuning in again today to TYT. Now, as I was saying before, we just got out of lockdown, so people are starting to flood back into work naturally. But the bigger, more important thing that we need to focus on is that, as usual, and as all we're accustomed to, these jobs don't pay anything that we can live off of. People are returning to crap jobs that don't pay them enough to pay their bills. People are returning to working 2 jobs at once. People are returning to working jobs that don't fit their, bachelor's degrees and what have you. The economy is not set up for modern times, nor is it set up for where things are headed, as we talk about quite frequently on this time. And with Joe Biden's infrastructure bill being so inadequate, much of the changes that come for that just aren't going to be felt enough by the little man and the little woman. And not just that, but even by just up the higher rungs. Society isn't changing in any significant way under Biden. As he did say, lest we not forget, that nothing will significantly or fundamentally change while he's in office. And it's holding true to that. Because as we talk about often as well, we've had opportunities to legalize marijuana, raise the minimum wage, do something more about everything that ranks high, not just among Democrats, but among Republicans as well. Everyone wants a better economy. Everyone wants a better education and healthcare system. Everyone wants pretty much everyone wants a more fair tax system. The list goes on and on and on. But, of course, these things aren't being properly tackled. And so going into 2022, facing redistricting, we know what's going to happen. And usually what happens is, there's a supermajority and then it swings back. But Donald Trump was the first president to lose re-election in quite some time. And Joe Biden may end up becoming another president to lose re-election for quite some time. It's looking like Trump will run again, and there's no reason to think that Biden's just going to sweep him because, again, we know that the Republican base is going to show up. But what matters is that the base of the Democratic Party won't necessarily show up. And as the Democratic base shows up less and less and less, that means that more and more Republicans don't have to show up to the polls. And so, as usual, the Democratic strategy of half measures and milquetoast movements forward, they're having less effect than they ever have.